Okay, so I hope you guys are gonna find me again. I'm back. Hey, yeah, I didn't want to leave it out there because, it's out in the public, and hopefully this person will learn and not make that mistake again. At least not with me. So you guys get what I'm saying? It's like we have a tendency we want to find our twin flame. We want to find our soulmate. Yeah, I didn't want to leave that out there about the story, but basically, we sometimes have this stuff put in front of us and we know it doesn't feel right, but we also all want connection, right? So what happens is we have to look beyond someone's limitations, because we all have limitations. I do. I can talk about all this stuff till I'm blue in the face, but I do know that sometimes I have trauma responses, okay? We all have trauma responses, and there's so many good people out there that are talking about this. And so, sometimes I have to sit and look at myself, right? And have accountability, and what are my motives. But this situation with my car was like, oh, no, 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 no. No, because actually what happened was I didn't have the warranty, right? So that I was paying for. It was lapsed because it was put in as a wrong thing, but I'm not going to talk anymore about it. So you have to stand up for yourself. And like, if you've got that matador going like this with you and egging you on, and sometimes people, when you start to get to a place of peace, okay, could be family members, could be your lover, could be friends, it could be people you work with. I had it in the job that I was in. It was like there was so many crazy makers that were walking into my classroom, and they were other teachers. Instead of taking my class, they were walking in. They were, because apparently I made a ripple in a job that I was in, and so I go in and I'm like, why are the teachers coming in here? Because the place I worked in New York, that was not allowed. You didn't disrupt somebody's class. I would lecture in my classes, and I gave a college level lecture and a lot of information out, and what they were doing is they wanted to know what I was doing without supporting me. And I draw the line with that, okay? I learned from that it was a tragedy for me. It was awful, nightmare awful, because it was constant. I had a teacher hiding in the closet in a room that I was teaching, okay? In a supply closet, listening to what I was doing. So I went and opened the door and said, can I ask you what you're doing? But it took so much for me to do that. Hey, Jennifer, I'm doing great. It took a lot for me to do that, because I'd go in and I'd say, what is this? Like to the head of the thing, like, why are these people doing this? And is that normal here? Because I moved out of state. I moved from New York to a very different place. A beautiful place, but very different. So I was told that I was the only one that had the problem, okay? And I got so like, oh my God, it's me, okay? I feel that when you are conducting a class or you're teaching, and it's just like on these lives when those bots come in, and when all this stuff comes in, or this people trying to scam you, or people on a lot of the platforms now, they're taking your videos, they're taking your picture, they're claiming they're you, they're scamming people, they're asking people to give readings. There's a lot going on. No, bam, no, it's not okay. So beyond red flags, okay, we can be so kind that we don't even see the matador with the big the big felt red thing flying it in our face, okay? Until one day we wake up and everything's upside down and we don't know what to do. So pay attention to what people say, and if people don't follow through, it's okay to say, hey, this is not okay, all right? But you know, there are people out there, like I have a couple of friends who say we're gonna go to brunch on Sunday, and then, you know, they don't call or whatever. I let them go because I know what's on their plate, right? So it's not like that. That it's when someone is. I know that. I know that. I don't. It's like I'm a fish out of water still here. But there's some things here that afford me the peace that I need, and I require it. And you know, I am very private, but I also have to. I'm gonna admit something about myself. Okay, I have to be very, very, very careful. I did, Jean. I did. I didn't go for a very long time, but I went closer to evening time, and then I made delicious meal for myself. So it was a good rest of the day. But what I want to say is that I have to be careful that I don't become a recluse, because that's my trauma-based stuff that I have to work on. Because sometimes I have a tendency to shut out the world, and I go to my artwork. That's what I did when I was little, when things, and after my dad passed away and stuff. That's how I coped. So art really saved my life, very much so. So that's why that's why my company is named the name that it is, the Center for Art and Healing, and go on my Facebook page. And that's my business, and you know, it's what I love, and it's what I know, and it's a huge healing tool. So sometimes when we shift into this consciousness of that's enough, and I have to stand up for myself, and I'm a big girl now, or I'm a big boy now, right? It can be very scary, because the child within gets frightened and says, I'm going to get in trouble. I'm going to get in trouble, especially if you were in a household where that's the way it was, where it was just like you had to keep your mouth shut. All right, you couldn't say. I could say in my household, but I couldn't do it in the religion that I was raised in, and I couldn't do it in the schools that I went to. I went to parochial schools. So the thing is that even when I was younger, I always had this personality that said, hey, this doesn't seem right to me, and I got in trouble for it, even when I was learning about different things, about the fear of God and stuff. And for me, even I think my soul always knew that I needed wings and I needed to be an artist, right? So you get suppressed by this, and then you don't know how to disassociate enough to say, let me step back and let me take a look at this, and this is not okay. All right, it could be okay for someone else, but it's not okay for me, right? And it's okay to do that, because I tell you what, if the matador is waving that, and I have been with people in situations where they provoked me just because of the way that I was. They wanted to see if they could get my goat, because I live a very peaceful life, and it's very important to me, and sometimes I say no. In fact, I say no a lot, because you're not going to come in here like the Knight of Swords with your, you know, this is for male and female, Knight of Swords or female of Swords that's upside down and wants to charge in and kind of like get into my sanctuary. No. Okay, so same goes for me when I'm on these channels, and I don't have a huge following anymore. I lost a lot of people. I think, for many reasons, because I think that a lot of the stuff that we try and put out there, honestly, and I may get bumped off of here or in trouble for it, but on all the platforms, and if you are doing this, you notice that they can take away things. They can take away your views, your likes, and that's happening too. So to a lot of us, okay, because we are speaking out force over suppression. We are speaking out for things that are not okay, and we're in it, and there's a lot of censorship. There always has been. Simple Man, I think right now that you need that, hon, okay? Because your healing's on such a deep level, and I think you need that that time, right? And being on here is good because we have people here that we all love each other. So does everybody get what I'm saying? You know, I think it was Al Capone that said, don't mistake my kindness for weakness. I love that statement because, and then, you know, when I start to get my Scorpio up or my tail comes up, which I talk about all the time because you're oomphin' with me, okay? And it's also like, come here. Oh, honey, you got something on your teeth. Oh, it's bullshiggity. It's bull tinkies. Like, I know that you're BSing me and you want me to sit there and smile, you know, so it's that kind of a thing. Yeah, right? It's the truth. So we have to stand up sometimes because, you know, had I not done that, I would be today writing a check for somebody else's mistake. You get what I'm saying? So when something doesn't feel right, question it within yourself. Sometimes we can't talk to people about it because they're not going. We know who they are, and they're not, and there's nothing that we can do about it. Okay, but there's. And the other thing I want to say to you guys, if you have to be doing this in your relationship, it's because your gut's telling you something's not right. So, you know, you don't have to hire a detective. Trust your instincts, right? And do something if you can. Not everybody can, but don't doubt yourself. Okay? Don't doubt yourself. And the other thing is notice when people have an agenda. And also notice when you have an agenda. The most important thing to do is to notice when you have an agenda, okay? Because you're having accountability for yourself, and you have to look at your motives, right? So that's not an easy thing to do, but it does bring you to a place of, actually it's very good for you, and you'll be stronger and you'll be taking back your power. I talk about that all the time. Take back your power. And sometimes I think I was very, 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 very close to my father, okay? I adored that man. He taught me everything about art. He taught me how to have eyes in the back of my head. He was very, very, very brilliant. He was an alchemist. He didn't stay in school that long. He did get a full scholarship to Pratt Institute in New York. That's how talented he was. But he was award-winning photographer, and anything that man touched turned to gold. So he taught me so much. And this is what I do now, okay? When I'm getting really angry with someone, sometimes I fly off the handle. I still do, okay? I have to get my toolbox out and then say, wow, I shouldn't have done that. But it's when somebody's really, really taking advantage of my kindness and advantage of me, then I get like really like the bull and like the lion, and sometimes stuff comes out of my mouth, okay? And cursing sometimes does feel good. I don't do it on this channel. But the thing is that I asked myself, what would my dad have done in this situation? And he would have got his butt in a car and gone down there and said, I want this fixed. This is not my fault. I want this fixed. And I'm not doing this, that, and the other thing. So it's okay to be like that. And he taught me to be like that. He taught me to be a really strong person. And sometimes you have to, as a woman, use masculine energy. And as a man, you got to connect to your feminine energy. And I like a man who can cry. Okay? I've always liked a man who can shed some tears. Not somebody that whines all the time and needs a mommy, but yeah, me too. Okay, so, and the other thing too that you want to do to be more of a grounded spiritual person, you have to ground yourself when you're going when you're going spiritual, right? And, okay, I'm off going spiritual. That's how it gets, right? I'm off to the Ethiopia, whatever it is. And when I was on TikTok, I'm able to go live now. It's so funny when I was on TikTok. TikTok is, you know, it's, I think when you go live, it's 16 and up. So I had somebody ask me if I was a hippie. It's so funny. Roseanne, hi. So I think that you also ask, what would the master do? So you can think of Jesus, Buddha, and how would they handle it, right? You can handle things with kindness, right? You don't have to fly off the handle. But I do think that sometimes when someone over and over and over and over again crosses your boundaries, you got to do something about it, right? You have to do something about it. You have to protect your sanity, and in some cases you have to protect your car, your home, and all your belongings, right? Because be careful who you let into your life. Take your time, and even when you take your time, the thing is that you don't really know this person until you start living in the same place with them, and that is a whole nother smoke, right? It really is. So it's getting hot in here. I must be ready to channel. Whew, whew. I have to get a new air conditioning unit too. So it has been a doozy of a week. So Dee, you were the first one on. So let me pull a card. Are you still there? A lot of times we do, especially these days, right? Because Dee, your card is Material Harvest. It's a number 9, and I hope you're still on, Dee. It's a number 9, and what I feel like is you starting to maybe let go of some habits that have cost money, and looking at where your money's going. And if you're not doing that, this is Spirit's message for you to do that, so that your harvest, it's so that when it's time to harvest, okay, which I'm going to say is in a couple of months or so, spring into summer, that you're going to have a good crop, because we can't pull the, you know, if we're we can't pull the plant out before it's ready, or you know, trim whatever it is. Like, you don't want to pull the plant out, it's not ready, or you don't want to pluck the fruit, okay, from your abundance in your tree. Okay, Simple Man. This is Psychic Tarot. Oh God, this is, look at this, and you've gotten this before. All right. This is about you being alone in what's happening in your life. Something may have ended, or you put an end to something, and it looks like a staff, okay, rather than an oar. So you're going to be looking out to the sun, okay, to the sunrise and to the sunset, and also, like, I'm pretty sure you have one. You have a stick, right? And so you're gonna. I mean, I think I've told you that before. I think you should get it out and use it, and you know, go back to you know, like burning sage and releasing all the stuff that happened or is happening that is upsetting you, and you know, of course, having the serenity of your prayer and your you know, meditation and things like that, and so but see, this time alone is good for you, okay? It really is. And I'm just going to give you an extra one. Connect to your crown chakra, because that's where you're going to find relief, okay? And that's where you're going to start creating from that consciousness. It's a number 7. You're going to start creating things differently. Who else do I have? Who was next after Simple Man that came on? Was it Jean? Somebody say hi. Can somebody say hi? Okay. Love AF. I think it was you, so. And then Jean. Okay. Love AF. The waiting game. Love AF. I feel like you're waiting for some kind of partnership to change. All right. And what I want to say to you is that the change is within you. You have to put one foot in front of the other, and you do what's right for you. And then it may help things to shift, if that makes any sense. You're waiting for a partnership to shift and change. Okay? Jean. Triumph and success. Love it. Okay, so you've been working really hard, and I think, Jean, that you've been very kind to a lot of people, and you're welcome, Love AF, and you're starting to really show that you're a warrior spirit also. Okay, that you have it's like you have a bouquet in one. I have a painting that I did that is called the Goddess of Integrity, and I feel like that would resonate with you, because she has a bouquet of beautiful roses, which is like Saint Teresa and compassion and miracles. Okay, and then she's got the sword. She shows it is okay to show your sword sometimes, because it shows people that you are strong, and they shouldn't be with you, right? So I've got my notifications on still. Let me just do that. Okay. There we go. All right. So, these glasses I don't have the little pads that go on them. They came off, so that's like digging into my nose, into my schnoz. Roseanne. And then Liv. Roseanne, your intuition came out like this. I think you doubt it a lot. Stop that. Stop that. Okay. Your intuition. There may be some people around you that that are trying to pull the wool over your eyes, or maybe you're just so busy on the physical plane that you're not taking enough time for your third eye and for your meditation. I don't know. Are you meditating, Roseanne? Because it feels like, that there's maybe sometimes I see you on the treadmill. And I know you go to the gym, but I see you on the treadmill as a metaphor spiritually, okay? That you run. And so maybe it is that you need to take a little more time to sit in that meditative place and get your spiritual strength back, okay? And don't stop doubting your intuition. You should be turning it this way, because you really do have a good intuition. Also, you may be having a connection to the Ankh, which is, look that up, okay? Egyptian, the Ankh. Okay. Live. Number 5, obstacles and challenges. It was reversed when I saw it. So you are starting to surmount that, okay? And there's change coming in a good way, okay? And it may be hard for you to accept some of the change, but it's some things are going to be freed up for you. Also, for everybody here, recognition and renewal. Number 3, working your magic, putting your stuff out there, trusting in what it is that your calling is. And some of us, it's just when we deal with the public, if we have to go to a job, that we're able to give people a conversation or a smile or something that makes them feel good, okay? But for now, what I'm going to say is it's not all about how many likes you get on Facebook. It's not all about how many people are following you. What it is about is that you are a humble servant of the universe, of God, or whoever you resonate with, okay? You are a humble servant who understands rather than rather than a person who is scrambling for that fame, scrambling for those followers, scrambling for recognition, wants to be famous. This is more of you being who you are, okay? And recognition is coming to you just because you are the way that you are. Liv, it feels like more and more obstacles. Yeah, I've been going through that as well. A lot of us are going through that right now. There is a big, huge, gigantic shift of energy from third dimension to fifth dimension. So when the third dimension people start coming at you, that's when you see the matador. That's when you see that big red thing and you say, no, 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 wait a minute, okay, wait a minute. And this is how people, like the person that said on TikTok, are you a hippie? So when people look at me, because I wear my Stevie Nicks outfit, or, you know, like I always have these flowing robes and I have paint on me, or I have, Warachi sandals on, or you know, like or a hippie purse, or I've got tie-dye yoga pants on. They ho 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 ho, you know, she's a stoner or she's a hippie or whatever, and I'm very, very grounded. So it's about having that balance, right? And so yeah, the obstacles, it's part of a lot of people's lives right now, because I think we came here knowing that we would go through this challenge, okay? The light workers that have come here and chose to do it, oddly enough. And sometimes I've said to myself, what the hell was I thinking, right? But the thing is that we are all facing some kind of obstacles, because it's like the tower, okay? Where everything starts to fall apart. And that helps you to make the decision on how you can maneuver through this to have those things change. And for you, I think that the thing that you're struggling with is that you really can't do anything right now except for work on that prayer and asking God to help you. Ask God to help you. Ask Spirit to help you. And things will shift. It's just that we have no expectations. That's why when I read someone, okay, when someone comes to me for a reading and they want to know about love and relationships, I always say the cards are mutable. Life is mutable. We all have free will. People all of a sudden can turn on a dime and change their mind, or they let somebody else bully them, or someone comes in and interferes with whatever it is. We don't have any guarantees with that. The only thing we have a guarantee with is what we know inside ourselves, right? And that's really hard, because you feel alone, and it happens to me, right? You feel alone, you feel like nobody gets it, and that it's hard. You know, Liv, that's what I'm going to say to you is that happens a lot with you. So you have to ask God also, what is it that I can change, or that I can recognize before this betrayal hits me again? And people do that though too, okay? So you are going through a very big transformation. It's a 13, which is 4. That's your foundation. Allow the transformation to happen, okay? And move on from, to the best of your ability, from what people are doing to you, or however you feel. I know, because I was there. I was there for 3 years. 3 years when I first moved here. I thought how am I ever going to make this? How am I ever going to do this? I don't want to see those people. I don't want to deal with those people. Oh, I know, simple man. But you don't have to be alone, you know? There are people, you can be with people, but for right now, for you, I feel like, you have to be with the right group, the right soul tribe, and the right healing. And you know that. Because the people, places, and things before were not healthy for you. Okay? All right? So, you know that. So for everybody, this is a little print of a solar plate that I did. Angels all around. Aw, I know, Liv, it's hard. It's hard. Just keep, oh, can somebody take them off there, Alan, gift, whatever that is? Does anybody know how to do that? Block them, remove them, delete them. This is truth, okay? I feel like for a lot of us, we have to find out the truth about ourselves. We have to connect with ourselves. I've actually bought myself this ring. I'm engaged to myself, right? I'm engaged to the life that I want to live. I'm engaged to moving forward each day. I'm engaged to doing the things that I love, all right? And so, and you know what? I think, guys, also, if things get bad, it's really good to, not everybody believes in this, but I think it's good to receive a healing from someone and to see a doctor, to have a checkup. Because some of us, you know, a lot of people suffer from depression when all this stuff is on their plate. And it's really good to get therapy. Okay. So, anybody else want a card? I'm going to pick a couple of cards for the collective. Capricorn. The devil. Okay, hi Violet Moon. Sometimes isolation is good because you don't want to let the, oh, Jennifer, yes. You don't want to let the devil in. And sometimes we do when we're lonely. So be careful, guys. Be careful. And it's not your job to fix anybody else, okay? This is, I'm still doing collective here. This is not anybody's particular card. And here's the Scorpio card. Put a death to those things that have happened in the past. Put a death to the stuff that no longer serves you. Get rid of those people, places, and things that are toxic. And I always like to say, giddy up, move forward. So Roseanne, I'm going to go back to this deck that I was working on before. Psychic Tarot. And then Violet Moon. Fairies. The fairies. Oh, the fairies. Destiny. All right, Jennifer. There's a new beginning coming for you. You were destined for this beginning, okay? It's your destiny to move forward with it. It could be in a relationship, or it could be in, I feel, Jennifer, that there's something that you want to put out to the universe, and it is your destiny. And you've been thinking about it and dreaming about it, and it's time to work on it seriously, okay? Doing what makes you happy and bringing it forward for your new beginning, because it was your destiny. Violet Moon. Base chakra. It came out like this, Violet. So what I'm going to say to you is, I think that you do a lot of spiritual stuff, and your crown chakra is very open, okay? Third eye is open. But Spirit is saying that there may be someone around you who has a different mindset about abundance. Violet, am I correct? Or you have several people that work from a place of being a little fearful about that. And okay, so I've had that, okay? And when I'm around people like that too long, it does start to affect me. And guess what happens to my body? I can't walk. My body is so sensitive now. And I've also gotten, you know, chronologically, I'm older, but I start having problems in my mobility, my lower back, my legs. Sometimes it's sciatic. It's because I am picking up their stuff and their fear. And even when you start, you have to profess, okay, I have. You have to get away from them once in a while and go and ground. I'm not saying they're bad or anything like that. It's just sometimes the way people were raised, okay? Okay. So that could be also, you know, like, it could be many things. I do have, I've been to the doctor and I've been to a specialist, a rheumatologist actually, and I do have osteoarthritis. I don't have osteoporosis where you bend over and stuff like that. I don't have that, because I've always exercised, right? But I used to teach when I was in my late 20s, early 30s, up until, I've always been an instructor of fitness. Then I switched over to the yoga, but I was an aerobics instructor and a personal trainer, and I worked out too much. I mean, it was like, that's how I dealt with all the stuff that was going on in my life at that point in my life, was burn it off. So that's beautiful. Great, Jennifer. That's terrific. And work that, honey. So yeah, so it's stress goes into the body too. So and I also have the fibromyalgia. When I get very stressed, it kicks in. So you have to take care of myself, and I have to, you know, I use the heating pad and Epsom salt baths, and I relax and try and do my meditation. And you know, sometimes you have to pull yourself away from people who are who are who are blocking your radio waves. The static, right? Okay. Anybody else need a card? I'm gonna go switch over to TikTok in a little while. Anybody else need a card? Which is like bizarre because nobody talks to me on there yet. I don't know why. Rest and rejuvenation reverse. So that's for the collective. A lot of us aren't getting enough rest. Okay, it's number 4. So my suggestion to everybody is let's all take a deep breath right now. Okay, let's breathe in. Allow the belly to expand. Yeah, Jennifer, I know, I hear you. It's painful. Okay, take a deep breath in. We're going to do the Buddha breath in. Feel your expansion, allow your belly to expand, and then when you exhale, exhale all the way, bringing the belly to the base, to the back of your spine. One more time, deep breath in, let's visualize pure white light. Let's exhale. Let it go, let it go, let it go. Yeah, okay, Violet, but I'm going to tell you, definitely get checked because you'll feel better. You know, and think about your diet and what it is that could be, you know, I know for me, and I love all this stuff, nightshade is not good for me, which is peppers, eggplants, onions, all that. I can't live without garlic. I'm Italian, but you know, if I eat onions, I have to really cook them very well in a soup or something like that. So I work better, and you know, and I like our Vedic way of thinking too, because everything that we put in our body, everything that we eat affects us. And another thing I'm gonna say, and some people get mad when I talk like this, and I don't even know if you're seeing 11:11 together. That's forward. That's because that's your foundation. It's angel messages, and I do believe it means that you new beginnings and going forward. Okay, my sister's been seeing that, and my sister just had a miracle happen. Okay, Liv? So think about that. All right? Yes, I do, Liv. Yeah, I do. What you have to do is, well, you know how to get in touch with me, right? You know how to get in touch with me. And we can take it from there. I would love to help you out with that. So, yes, and I'm 111, okay? Um, that's also kind of similar. Okay, cool. Cool. We can, if you're up to it, we can do a little do 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 clearing if you want to. Okay. So, that's it, folks. I'm going to go hop over on my TikTok to see if I can get any people to communicate with me. Oh, thank you so much. Love you guys. Giddy up. Giddy up. And think of that song. We are moving forward, and the horse is forward movement. We're all moving forward. It's just there are obstacles coming our way because we're, anytime you heal, like say if you have, you know, any, anytime you have something going on and you're healing, it's painful on and off, right? Because we have to make the changes, and you can work with anybody you want to work with, but if you don't make the changes, nothing's going to happen. For you, Liv, I think that you're in a situation where it's a little rough, and you don't, you can't just fold, right? So, but I love you, and you're all in my prayers and thoughts, and I'm going to be over on TikTok in a little while, and that is Regina Stark 751 on TikTok. So if you want to go over there and see what's happening, I don't know. Aw. All right. Love and light. Talk to you guys soon. Bye bye. Thank you for being here.